Welcome back to Buck Around, the podcast all about the PBR. Today we're recapping the event in Chicago and looking forward to what this weekend's got in store in Boston. First up, congrats to our event winner, Mark Rizzo. Very well earned, also very fun post ride interviews out of him this weekend. I do want to talk about his journey to this event win because he didn't really do anything on night one or one that impressed anyone. His first ride on Red Reservation was at 85, came in seventh in the round. Ride two on Sweet Action, a little bit worse, 83. It just goes to show you like how important it is in those first two rounds just to get rides in. They don't have to be good. You don't have to light up the scoreboard. You just got to be there in the final round and give yourself a chance to do something special. And Mark Rizzo did not disappoint when he got to the final round. He picked Manhater and stomped it out. 90-point ride, got the event win, was so fired up. And I've said it before on this podcast, Manhater's a legend. There's no denying that. And he is still one of the great bulls in the pen. But I think he's lost a step. I said this on an episode just a couple weeks ago. Been getting pretty good bull scores based on his name, not necessarily based on what he's been doing. It's going to be a year where we see a lot of rides on Manhater. And his first ride of the year, he gets ridden. You know, like Magic Potion this weekend is going for, I think, 56 buck-offs in a row, and everyone's still saying Manhater's bull of the year, and he won bull of the year last year. He got ridden last year a few times, and he's 0 for 1 on his first out of the season. So listen, I'm not trying to take anything away from Rizzo. Amazing weekend. Congrats to him. I'm actually really excited to watch him this year. I think it's going to be a little bit of a breakout year for him. I love the way he's riding. I love his energy. But all I'm saying is Manhater might be on the back nine of his career, and I think guys have started to figure it out. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the rest of the season holds for Manhater. But for me, I still think Magic Potion is the most dangerous, scariest bull in the pen right now. I'm super excited to see him buck this weekend. All right, as we finish up the Chicago event, I want to look at the rider standings for the season. And I know it's too early. I know we're only, 2 events in, but there's a shocking lack of some superstars at the top of the standings right now. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, Dalton Castle, Marco Rizzo, and Paulo Eduardo Rizzetto, and they deserve to be there for sure. But we don't start to see guys like Brady Fielder till 9th place, right? Then we got to go to 14th to get to Keyshawn Whitehorse, 17th to get to Sage Kimsey. We're not seeing Clay Guyton, who's just MVP of the team season. We're not seeing guys like John Crimber until 28th and 30th. So kind of a slow start for some of those young guns that I expected to be at the top of the podium almost every weekend. But as we know, it's a long season. It's going to be a game of who can stay the healthiest, the longest, and just keep knocking out qualified rides. So excited to see a little some surprising faces at the top of the charts. I think it's going to make for a really interesting season from here on out. All right, wanted to review some of the top rides from this weekend. Of course, we're going to be starting with Marco Rizzo on Manhater. To believe. I mean, listen, this bull bucks hard. I'm not saying that. He's kicking his hind legs way up in the air. All I'm saying is I think some guys are starting to figure it out. I told you that I think we're going to see him get ridden a lot this year, and on his first out, he gets ridden. Great ride still. Very hard-earned 90-point ride. Well-deserved. But I'm just saying, Manhater's not my bull to watch this year. All right, then pulling up the top 5 for rides, we had Bob Mitchell on Blown Away for 86, almost 87 points. Caden Loud over LA for 87 points. Then we got Eduardo Arpacito? I don't know, but I love a cowboy in a cowboy hat. I know that only the older guys can do it, but that just screams I'm tougher than you and I'm cooler than you. So shout out to him. 88.3 ride versus American made. Love to see it. Then the second best ride of the weekend, Paulo Eduardo Rossetto, 88 and 3/4 over Chicken in Black. It's my first time seeing this bull, I think. Good looking bull, good movement to him. Great ride for Paulo. All right, now we're going to look at some of the worst slams of the weekend, and let me tell you, there are some bad ones. Clay Guyton getting slammed by Ama Hostage. That looks very similar to the fall I took off a bull and broke my collarbone. So shout out to him for being way tougher and cooler than me. I'm sure we're going to see him back in action this weekend. Casio Diaz actually getting put in a spin cycle by Torch. He did a 360 and then a backflip. The Winter Olympics are coming up. He'd do well in the skiing event with that dismount, but not what you want to see from the back of a bull. Oh, I hate to see these ones. We got João Lucas Campos versus RIP. Bull just kind of jumps and falls out of the chute. I hate with seeing these bulls fall, man. I know it hurts the riders bad, but it hurts the bulls too. All right, now maybe one of the scariest moments from the weekend. Makate Trammell over Let Him Fly gets bucked off, but his hand kind of gets stuck, and he's standing up, gets stomped on hard, and is just not moving on the ground. Super scary for him. Shout out to him. He got up and walked off under his own steam. But hope and pray that recovery is going well. Would love to see him back soon. But damn, that one was scary. All right, this is another slam from the weekend, but they didn't put it on their top slams list because it technically was a qualified ride. Callum Miller rode for 8 seconds, got scored with an 84, but then got stomped on. Super scary moment from the weekend. This is a guy I called out in the first episode that I was super excited to watch this year. I think he's got a ton of upside. But praying for him, wishing him a speedy recovery. According to his Instagram, he's doing all right, but damn, this is scary when they get stomped on and they're just laying motionless in the dirt. Never what you want to see. Shout out to the bullfighters for getting him safe and getting that bull away from him. But yeah, this one scared me. All right, couple other cool, fun things from the weekend. All right, so Brady Fielder's in the chute. He gets his hand tied in. He scoots up. He's ready to go. He gives the nod. The gate opens, and the bull just stands there. I think we've all felt like this bull. You know, it's a Monday morning. The alarm goes off. It's time to go to work, and you're just like, nah, don't wanna. This might be the most relatable bull in the PBR. Rider gets on his back, gets roped in, gives the nod. The gate opens, and you're just like, I don't really feel like it. I don't wanna. To be honest, that makes Always Been Crazy my new favorite bull. I love that attitude. I feel like that Monday mornings for work sometimes. Just, don't wanna. So shout out to him. All right, that's it for the event in Chicago. Tonight we've got Boston, and the first event of the new year. This is where I'm really looking forward to some of those young guns coming back strong. Had a little good Christmas break. I'm predicting Clay Guyton and John Crimber at the top of the event standings in just a couple days' time. And I will do a recap episode next week after the Boston PBR event. Thanks so much for listening to Buck Around. I'll see you next time.